Tell me about yourself, how you got involved. I thought that was very interesting when you were telling the ladies. I think that's a cool story.
Well, it started about, oh God, probably the whole World War II experience started back in about the early 2000s. And it was 2004, I went to my first air show that had a World War II airplane. It was the B-25. It was briefing time from the Mid-Atlantic Air Museum. And Jackie Clammon's Corsair, which was Skyboss at the time from Long Island. And I forget the gentleman's name, but he had a Sky Raider. And that was in World War II. So, but anyway, I watched that and enjoyed watching them fly. And then I heard there was a World War II weekend, and that was it. I went from 2005 up to current, missed 2020, whatever we want to call that year, the pandemic, as I like to say. And it's just been nothing but growing ever since. The component that we're here with today with Pride and Joy started back in 2013, 2014 period, right around the time that they were saving That's All Brother, and Jason Capra's group with his C-53 Beach City Baby from Vintage Wings. Well, we were all three of us were working on different restorations, 2 flying restorations and 1 static restoration here, and since this can't fly. And mine started off with a computer model to see if I could either build this from a computer model and see where it goes. But then I went and found the door, which is not here today, which is where I'm sitting. There's a door that goes here, and that was the first piece of the project. And that was on a custom stand. We built that.
Wow.
And now it's signed by veterans that are airborne vets. We have one 101st Airborne veteran. He was Guy Winnan. He was a Normandy jumper and a Holland jumper. And so he's the only World War II vet that we'll ever have as a signature on the doors itself. Now we also have post-Korea, Vietnam airborne, and current airborne veterans. And we also have some C-47, C-53 signatures on there as well. I couldn't help but put Tim Chope and also put on Jason Capra in there because they were all working together to get everything working in their time. So Tim Chope's first airplane to get rated was a C-47, and Jason Capra, I just had a lot of respect for him, so I couldn't help but have him sign it, even So even if it was a C-53, I don't mind.
No, really, that's amazing.
So 2017 came around, and I went to California for a week, and I was walking around the boneyard where I got the door that's not here today.
That is very cool.
And I was talking to the owner. I said, "You got any more C-47s that are for sale?" He goes, "Yeah, let's go take a look." So we walked around. I found very good ones I wanted. And then the list was the last one that I saw in the line, and it was already well cut up and well done. And so I said, "Save this component." And well, I said, "Okay, well, hold that for me." And I would call every few months just to check in, and they said, "Yep, don't worry, we saved it for you. When you're ready, just tell us and drop us the money." And I said, "Okay, I will." And December rolled around, December 7th, 2017, I was officially the owner of this piece of an airplane.
That's amazing.
And so it didn't come to New Jersey from California until February of 2018. Did its first show literally as is. This wasn't her color when we got her. This was all restored exterior wise to be done. So she came as is out of the boneyard. So she was very rough. And so she did her first show rough looking. So it was definitely a curiosity, and people were wondering what the heck it was. And so I was there for a while with it talking.
That's amazing.
So over the years, it was slowly getting restored, paint stripped, paint removed, any way you can. Parts here were removed out of the handles, so the handles do work, so we can still lock the doors if need be. And now it's time to do the interior. So even in the inside, behind me up on the roof, on the ceiling, we actually have the line that you hook up the static lines to, which are in the packs behind me, which are T5 mains. We have 2 of them for kids to do a donation. We can hook you up, and you get the jump out too. What the heck?
That's so cool.
So we do that very well. And of course, we have our new fly that we do our display on. That's our easy travel display. This is the big component display. This takes a while to get out, but it's easier to pack what's on the tables under the fly for a day trip if we need to. For something small, we can do that. We won't bring the chutes with us for that. Well, we might bring one just for the table, but that's as good as we're going to get.
Yeah.
And but we do very well at the talks. We're looking at many more events. We hope to do more. If we can get more events, we would love to. It's just donated dollars to help us get there. So, but for many, many years, I've been talking World War II. I've been to the Air Force Museum. I've been to the National War II Museum. I've been to Pearl Harbor twice. I've been to Normandy. I've been to Holland. I did the whole European theater tour.
That's amazing.
I've been there and done it. So, have I done any jumps? No. This is as close as I will get. Not unless I do a tandem skydive.
But you're telling the story.
So, but
and
this
you're
to me
showing
is my pride
his...
and joy. I enjoy talking about her. She's the other love of my life. And but this is another wife, I guess you can call it. That's why people put so much money into it.
She lives through you.
This does live through me.
She lives through you.
Oh yeah.
And tells her stories.
Oh, she tells her stories. Yeah, especially since we now just found out what unit she was in. She was in 312th Ferry Squadron.
Oh wow.
Of the 8th Air Force.
Wow.
And there's a book on that, and she's actually in the book, believe it or not. Her original name was Stella, but we didn't know that until about a few weeks ago, actually.
Wow.
So when we found that out, it was pretty neat.
That is pretty neat.
So now we actually have the picture of the original artwork. We're not going to change anything here. We're just going to add it to her story, and that way it's something that we can carry with us and talk about.
That is amazing.
Because we're not going to change any of the work on the airplane. The only thing we're going to change is the continuation of the additional items going into the fuselage here.
Oh, really? You are going to continue to add to it?
We're going to continue adding to the interior that we already have, so we got to add in the circuit box that jumps the bags that are under the other 10 over here behind you. So we have the box that does that. We're going to put the original jump lights in that they would have had on D-Day. We're going to put the heater in. We're going to put the fire extinguisher back in. We're going to put our Gibson Girl radio bag back in. We're going to put the actual crew ladder, which would hook into here, back in. And we're going to put the emergency landing gear crank back in too. So we're going to do a lot of interior work on this airplane, including, I believe, we can even fit one of the medical bags up on the ceiling here that was originally there. I think we're going to be able to do that too.
That's incredible.
So we're going to bring this back as much as we can to original authenticity World War II. And so it's a lot of work, a lot of time, money.
It's a labor of love,
and
though.
labor of love, but you do it for labor of love too. But you need the money to do it.
You need the money to do it.
But no, it's doing events like this helps us a lot. Bringing this out is definitely an eye catcher. People love it, and I love it. She's my favorite.
Yeah.
Out of my entire collection, this is my only traveling piece.
It's amazing.
That's my outdoor traveling exhibit. Any other displays I do that travel are all indoor related, because there's such rare items that you don't want to have damaged and destroyed. Except this one, we like keeping her inside too. She doesn't sit outside. She sits out indoors when she's not.
She has earned it.
Oh yeah, she definitely has. But that's why she's our pride and joy. She's our bread and butter, and she will last us another, hopefully, many years. She's going to be turning 80 years old this September. So that's not too bad.
Do you know what assembly line she came on?
She was out of Oklahoma, I think, out of the Tulsa area. I think it was Tulsa. Or was it Oklahoma City? think it was Oklahoma City. Yeah, it was Oklahoma City. That's right.
Does she have like an original hull number, or do they?
Yeah,
they
we
do-
have all that information.
You have all that
We
information
have all
on
the
her.
block number and everything. So we know her block number. She was a B model C47 on an A.
Okay.
But we're gonna basically the B model doesn't really show much on this. Usually more up in the front of the airplane, more than the
Okay.
engines. A few
Okay.
other little tweaks here and there. So this one's technically perfect to be an A model, which we're going to bring her back to for Normandy. So that's not too bad. But now that we got our info card that we have, we can still tell her story as a B model. So
It's amazing.
bringing her back one model dash is not terrible. But so she'll.
Well, you're giving her
do the job.
life. You give her life.
Oh yeah, no, it gives her life.
She can't speak for herself, so you have to speak for her.
Oh yeah, oh definitely, sure. We have to. You know, they can't talk. It's just metal and wire.
You're amazing. You are an amazing person.
Well, I have to be when I do this kind of work.
It's amazing.
You know, what works really well is the wind's blowing the right way to show where the strap up here is at your static line. And with that blowing back like that, the wind is a perfect example to show that's where that would be blowing.
That would be blowing.
So we definitely enjoy that. I always love taking time and going to the hangar, which I like to call the hangar. She's kept in a auto mechanics restoration shop, which is where she stays. But I like to call it the hangar. And so I can go in there anytime I want, do any work I need to do. I pull it out, or I give it a bath and put her back in. She's done for the day, and that's as far as I get.
That's amazing.
So
Thank you so much.
not a problem.